Game of the day. ZSBS versus Endeavor. Sasha versus Kindle.
What is going on, everybody? Semi-original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon, from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another lively game of the day. Today, folks, we got ourselves a little match on Caustic Love. This is a base light matchup with no airports, just bases and some comm towers. That is all we got here today, folks. We got zsbs and Endeavor as our players today. Now, zsbs, I believe, is a alternative account for Live League only. I believe the actual player is Zero Show, around 1400. Endeavor, about a 1250, 1300, something like that in the Global League. So pretty high level players indeed. But today they are both ranked around 1100 in the Live League, which is actually very good. If you can reach the 1100 mark in Live League, you are doing something right, folks. I will tell you that much. Now, we got Kindle versus Sasha as our COs. And if we take a look at the map, we can see here that Caustic Love is indeed a base light matchup. Only two bases indeed. So these bases and all the bases have very, very specific goals that they need to do, folks. You need to be able to push forward, you need to be able to push up, and you need to be able to push down. So deciding where your army is going to go from these individual bases is very critical to the overall success on this map, folks. I've seen this map play out quite a bit different ways, and you never know what you're going to be seeing, folks. But I know for certain that artillery tend to be pretty good. Obviously, your standard tanks are pretty good. Mechs are not really super good on this map because it does take them a little while to get to the front lines. But you know what? I think they could probably have a place for sure. But generally, you want to be going for artillery, you want to be going for tanks, you want to get up to these corners. There is 2 labs per player on this map, so there is not going to be any super cheesy HQ rushes or anything, folks. But you do need to get to the center. You got to grab a comm tower, you got to go down here, you got to grab the corners, you got to grab these corners. There's going to be fighting all over the map, folks. I've seen fighting happen here. I have seen fighting happen here. I've seen fighting happen here, over here, over here. I've seen bases get taken on this map, folks. We have absolutely no idea what to expect. But this map was suggested to me by Red Flower. So once again, thank you, Red Flower, for all the suggestions. Very much appreciated. But without further ado, folks, let's go ahead and see what went down in the Live League today. Bam, 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 bam. On the first few days, folks, you all know the deal. It is the standard infantry build because you gotta get the infantry on the field. It is the #1 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. #2 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for all that hot Live League action, folks. The 3rd priority in Advanced Wars by Web is getting over to your settings and making sure that you put in the custom CO portraits as your COs, because it is absolutely hilarious and I love it and we need more of it. Now, as you can see here, Kindle with her little stupid face and Sasha with her equally stupid face. It's honestly, it's a work of art, folks. I would 10 out of 10 would suggest it. Now, for this map, it is going to be very difficult for Sasha to go up against Kindle. Now, I'm not sure what the tier was, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Sasha definitely is strong. She is strong in tier 1. Sometimes Sasha can actually suffer when she fights COs of lower tiers that have a lower CO bars. But the added income that she gets is definitely a good thing. But Kindle being able to just sit on those cities is going to make it very difficult to go in for those engagements. And especially because it's base light, you're not going to have as many units to actually play around with. So it will make a lot of those engagements a lot more difficult. That's a free hit if SBS decides to forego the capture, which actually, in all reality, I would not necessarily mind too much. Could forego the capture, get a free hit, build a tank here. Can't build a tank. Well, maybe. Yeah, no, they could build a tank. Build a tank next turn. Ooh, wow. Could be a saucy turn next turn, folks. We'll see what happens. We'll see if zsbs is the kind of person to forego a capture in order to acquire an early hit in Advanced Wars by Web, folks. We shall see. They get this capture over here, so they are now guaranteed the 7,000. Well, actually, they'll be guaranteed the 8,000 every single turn, which will be absolutely fantastic. So, in all reality, I probably would just go in and hit that. But I'm actually, honestly, kind of a crazy player. But it would appear that zsbs is also a crazy player. Spots the free dude and goes for the attack. These are the moves that define us as Advanced Wars by Web players, folks. You gotta go in for those risky plays. This one, I wouldn't necessarily say is really that risky of a play. It's more so just a strategic play, you know. It will deny your opponent the comm tower for a little while. You might lose the infantry in the engagement, but having your opponent not have a comm tower, equally annoying, folks. But Endeavor does not let that get to his head. He moves down south, eliminates an infantry with the tank infantry combination, and then moves the tank into position over here. Very strong tank right now, considering there is no opposing tanks. But zsbs going for the tank chains down south. Got 2 tanks down south. Probably will be busting out a tank up north now, without a doubt. Oh, second interrupt, or not interrupt, but second attack. That actually, oh, that's actually pretty good. That slows down a lot of captures over here on the eastern front for Endeavor. How will Endeavor respond to such violence in the live league, folks? This guy is definitely a goner, though. I can tell you that much. Endeavor going to be able to capture this property here. It's going to put him at a very nice spot, though, folks. That's going to give him, like, what is that? Like 11,000 income per turn? That's a lot. That's a fast track to double tanks, folks. Ooh, that's a nice hit right there. So that's not too bad of a hit. 10 out of 10 probably would take that hit again, you know. No reason not to. 3 tanks down south, folks. We got 3 tanks on the western front right now versus only 2 tanks, but there's no 2-hit potential over here. Without a comm tower, it's very difficult for pretty much any CEO to go up against Kindle on a city, folks. Oh god, there's a soiled abomination on my screen. Gotta get that guy off the screen, folks. Boom. See, look at this. You're only going to be doing 38 to 44% damage. You're going to get counterattacked more damage than you're going to hit. So you can efficiently go up and take 2 hits for sure. But one of your tanks is going to be absolutely blasted away. And if Kindle has a backup tank, which in this case, she does, it's going to be absolutely madness, folks. Absolutely flipping madness. You don't want to be taking those attacks too often, but if it has to happen, it has to happen, folks. But here we are on day 8, folks. So let's carry on with the carnage. The carnage that is here, the carnage that is everywhere. Got a capture going down south. That one's definitely guaranteed. This flip's not guaranteed. Well, no, it's still not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed because there's an attack right here. So Kindle can move in over here, get the interrupt. But if she wants to, they could get an interrupt and a tank strike. But I don't know, man. With 4 tanks, plus a 5th tank in the center of the map here, Endeavor in a very strong position indeed. Going for another one. This is a guaranteed flip. That is going to swing the income heartily in the favor of Endeavor over here. Boom, another interrupt. That cap guaranteed, absolutely guaranteed. Not even going to go and interrupt the capture. Going to attack the 2 tanks. You know what? All things considered, folks, I don't think that's too bad of an idea. You want to be attacking tanks whenever you have a chance. Attack the tanks, get the tanks off the field. But one thing that is very dangerous about this entire situation, folks, is the fact that Endeavor now has a 16,500 income per turn. That is 15 properties on the map. And that is a lot of properties, folks. That is enough for Endeavor to bust out the classiest unit in Advanced Wars by Web every single day. And in all reality, folks, if you can bust out the classiest unit in Advanced Wars by Web every single day, why would you absolutely not bust out the classiest unit in Advanced Wars by Web every single day? Gotta get them on the field, folks. Number 4 priority in Advanced Wars. Now, in this case, I probably wouldn't suggest doing it necessarily, mainly because you want to get more tank presence. You want to get a lot of tanks on the field, maybe even get some artillery on the field. You know, artillery, very good. Very good in live. I say it all the time, folks. You got to be getting the artillery. Like I said, people disagree with me, but you know what? It is what it is. People are allowed to disagree with me. I don't hold it against them. Sometimes my takes are bad. Sometimes my takes are based. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. Alrighty, folks. Carrying on with the match. Another 2 tanks on the field. 16 properties are in the possession of Endeavor now. That is 17,600 income per turn. However, zsbs is going to be able to acquire at least 1 property this turn. 2 properties this turn. Boom, boom. There we go. Let's get those guys. 14,000 income for the old zsbs now. That is a buttload of income for a Kindle. That's going to be able to allow you to get that double tank every single turn, folks. Double tank turns in Advanced Wars by Web. That's what it's all about. I would have probably went up and considered attacking this with this infantry, but you know what? Going back for the heals, not necessarily a bad idea as well. You know, it's never a wrong idea to get heals, but it really just depends on the state of the map, folks. That's what it's all about. Endeavor, like 10 tanks right now to 8 tanks. Gonna be able to bust out another tank. That's gonna be okay. Like at this point, 10-10, 10-8. Yeah, when you're at this point, what you really got to do, or what you really have to consider doing, is when you're up tank counts, you just have to keep trading tanks because you're gonna stay ahead in tanks over, like in the long run. So I like the idea of just trading tanks all the time. That is pretty brutal. That's pretty brutal, folks. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that one. That was a pretty good attack right there. Not too shabby at all. It's gonna be very difficult for these tanks to push in. These tanks have to go and like absolutely rush this base or something. Like, it's gotta happen. Endeavor. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. Sacrifices the tank to go in and attack another tank. All right, folks. Choices have been made. And we got a market crash, folks. The market has been crashed. Here we flip and go. Now, this is a fairly strong position over here, only allowing for a single strike right here, single strike right here, single strike right here, and a single strike right here or here. So, tanks can't really effectively push into this position too much, but they can still do some damage, folks. So, you know, I wouldn't count them out or anything. This guy's a goner, though. That's definitely a 2-strike right there. So, yeah, that's going to happen. That's going to happen time and time again, folks. Oh, triple striking it down. And then the exact same thing, folks. This is you can get a 2-strike on this, which I would probably do, actually, at this point. I would definitely 2-strike this tank and get it down. And then just build another tank. Like, build a flipping medium tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That covers right there. Perfect. Medium tank. Medium tank it up over here, folks. That's what we need to do. We need to get the flipping medium tanks on the field. Get them on the field. All right. Day 13, though. zsbs making a massive push over here, but the vast majority of these units are injured, folks. That is 1, 2, 3 injured units. There's still 2, 3 fresh tanks in the front lines. But what do we do? What do we do in this situation, folks? There's a potential attack right here, but this tank can loop around here. If you forego the capture of the comm tower, there is a massive push over here that could be done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mech is kind of safe, though. That's the thing. Mech is kind of safe. I would consider maybe just going in and just doing the damage, folks. You know what? At this point, you might as well just full commit, do the damage, beat your opponent up, and just have a flipping merry flipping time, folks. That's what you got to be doing. Oh, it goes for the capture, though. Okay, so going for the capture, that foregoes a lot of potential tank damage, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. That could have been... I mean, he can still get quite a few hits here, but he can get a hit here, he can get 2 hits here, he can get 1 hit here. This tank is attacking, right? Yeah, okay, that's like... Okay, so he's going for that one. Okay, he's going for the 2 hit and a hit right here. Oh my god. Oh my god, this man! I don't like the fact that he didn't hit down here, though. I would really, really like to see the hits down here as well. So maybe, like, foregoing the capture might not have been that bad of an idea, but he is kind of guaranteed a comm tower now. So, I mean, all things considered, you know, he's got that communication in order to keep the battle flowing with the extra firepower. But an Urban Blight has been unleashed on the land here, folks. And now units are feeling the hurt. There's definitely some hurt here, folks. There's a little bit of hurt here and some hurt here. Aside from that, actually, you know what? It didn't really do too much damage, but it did enough damage, folks. And this guy's about to get capped. So now, technically, it is zsbs's game right now, folks. He is ahead. He is ahead in properties. Let's see what he does. See, zsbs, he's going for it. This is what you got to do. You got to commit. You got to just go for it, folks. Look at that. Because these guys were left unscathed because of the comm tower capture, they move in here and they obliterate this front. Like, imagine for a moment if that comm tower was foregoed and the infantry destroyed all these tanks right here. These 3 tanks would have been attacking over here. Like, yeah, maybe they would have been hit by a mech, maybe a tank. But, I mean, you know, you got to keep the damage flowing, folks. That's what it's all about. Keep that DPS going. Now it's going to be very difficult to fight. It will be difficult to fight because of the added defense, but there's definitely still attacks. Like, these tanks can flip over here and just completely obliterate this as well. So I would not consider this like a losing position or anything for Endeavor. Endeavor can still push in and do tons and tons of damage. He's even got a tank strike right here, folks. Could go for a tank strike here. Maybe even go for a block or like a sacrifice tank into a tank strike. There's lots of options here, so let's see what he manages to do. Doesn't get the KO there. Very unfortunate that he doesn't get the KO, but he gets an attack. Does a block here. Very nice block indeed. Boom. Double striking with the infantries up north. Moving this guy back for heals, though. I don't like that. I don't like that. You know what? I do tend to like units going back for heals, but this guy's needed on the front lines, folks. Like, you have a tank advantage, 11 to 10. This tank moves over here. You take it out of the equation. Now it's an even tank game. Like, these guys are injured, obviously, but Kindle is a flippin' powerhouse. You have to out-tank her. You have to out-DPS her. Like, it's the only way that you can beat her, folks. Boom. Sitting right on the lab. That's where you want to be. Especially when Kindle has no power, folks. That's definitely the spot where you want to be. So, did some pretty respectable damage here. Is going to get blasted by at least 1 tank right here. These injured tanks, they're not really going to be able to do too much. Endeavor is in a very strong position here. You know what? No word of a lie. Definitely looking pretty strong. But that is a big hit right there. That's an unfortunate hit. Boom. Oh, doesn't finish it off, but makes it go down to 1. So, you know, that's like, it's not going to be super effective in the long run, you know. It's going to take a little while to get those heals, but there are attacks. There are attacks that are going to happen here, folks, and it's going to be absolutely brutal. I would probably really consider... Okay, so if I was in this situation, what I would probably consider doing, this is just a very minor move, folks, but you got to use this tank to break this open, and then you got to push these tanks up here and start attacking up here. You don't want to be pushing down here because this mech. Now, mech is not really all that threatening, folks, but you don't want to lose a tank to a mech. That's not really what you want to be doing. You could definitely move in and get away from the mech and do other attacks elsewhere, like clearing the middle and regrouping all your soldiers together, all your tanks together in the center here. I think would be a very strong position to be in. But like I said, it's a tank game, folks. It's a tank game, and when it's a tank game, you know what you got to do is you got to bust out the classiest unit in advanced, by the way, folks. You bust out the classy medium tank. That's what I'm talking about. zsbs knows the assignment, understands what's going on, folks, and busts out the classiest unit. It's going to be very difficult for this to break, especially because Endeavor's only got 16,800 income this turn. So unless he wants to join some things together, he's not going to be able to bust out 2 units, and he's already down 15 to 23 units. Is ahead in value, though, so that is very nice. A lot of these units are super injured. Just got to get in here and got to start clearing. That's what has to be done. And just imagine if this tank was on the front line, so it would be able to help clear these tanks right now. Like, I think that was definitely a mistake. That guy needs to get to the front lines. That's pretty good clear. I don't like that. I don't particularly like that hit too much. If anything, use the 4 HP to clear, then use this guy to go here and attack here so you don't get hit by the mech. Like, we don't want to be getting hit by mechs, folks. Mechs. That was a good clear, though. I absolutely love that one. Yeah, mech is just going to come in and do some damage, folks. We don't want that. Oh my god, we're just giving that tank away to the mech. Classiest unit in Advance Wars. Yeah, I don't like the fact that we're giving away the tanks here, though. That's not the best. Like, I was saying that it's nice to go and trade tanks, but you gotta actually get the KOs. That's what it's all about, folks. Yeah, that guy's gone. Boom. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate indeed. But value is still way ahead. So all things considered, you know, it is still looking pretty good for Endeavor. And he's got a lot of tanks in the middle, going to be able to get lots of clears. But the mechs, you know, I was saying mechs probably weren't really all that good on this map. But here I am, flipping, eating my words as these mechs just rush the front line and cause massive damage over here. Staying, we're just, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I mean, I like the fact that we KO a mech, but, I mean... Unless we're going to attack this mech. Okay, you know what? Maybe. Maybe it's fine. Okay, so he attacks there. What's he going to do with this one, though? He attacks the comm tower. Okay, comm tower is okay, but... No, I would have attacked the mech. The mech is, like, super dangerous right now. The mech is an immediate threat to our healthy tank right here, which I really don't like. So, I mean... Kindle can have a comm tower. It's not that big of a deal. She already does a massive amount of damage on flipping cities. I mean, what's 10% extra? It's really not going to be that that much of a difference. But either way, you know what is what it is. Let's see how the rest of this plays out. Medium tank moving up here, doing 50% over here. Tank following up. Now the 50% gets that KO. Absolutely no problem there, folks. Kindle. Oh, Kindle. Busting out a rocket. I know. Okay, folks, as we know, the rockets, they do tend to get bullied over here on the semi-original guy channel, especially in Live League. Live games, oh my god, I just see the rockets get absolutely blasted away every single day. So I don't know what the fate of this rocket is going to be, folks, but he's definitely got some flipping blockers there, so... All things considered, I don't think we're going to be seeing the rocket get bullied too badly. But I wouldn't say that it's not necessarily gonna get bullied. Definitely has the potential to get bullied. Alright, my mouse is back in commission. Okay, anyways. Boom. Easy attack right there. Yeah, rocket definitely thorn in the side of Endeavor right now, folks. But, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily say it's like the end all be all end all situation over here. Another medium tank. Yep, that's what we got to do. All right, so I think this is trying to bait out the tank right now. So he's trying to get the tank to move over here and attack one of these guys so that he can get the clears. That's probably what's happening here. But Endeavor is out of time, folks. He's at like 38 seconds on the clock. But he doesn't really have a lot of units to move, so, I mean, I don't think he really has a whole lot to worry about when it comes to time. Rocket down south. Okay, so we got double rockets on this map now, folks. This is getting absolutely wild. There's some crazy stuff over here, folks. I am thoroughly shook. Thoroughly shook by the amount of rockets on this game. Day 19 already. Boom, we'll get that off of the screen. Not really too much, folks. We're just shifting around. Like, the attacks need to start happening, though. Like, they really got to start attacking. Got to start getting these pushes. Boom. See, there we go. See? zsbs, he knows what's up. See, now the rocket actually covers the medium tank perfectly. Like, a rocket medium tank combination, it's one of the classiest things that you can do, folks. Look at that coverage. Look at that flipping coverage. Oh, my God. All right, moving in. Doing the damage. That is going to open up these two tanks to a rocket plus tank strike right now. Classy medium tank could move in and do some damage over here. Might be pretty bad, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, there's some big flipping strikes right there. Okay, so on the flipping... What? Another one. Another flipping rocket. Two rockets down here. zsbs. Who is this man? Who is this man? To build 3 rockets. He's got 3 rockets, man. 3 rockets. Like, absolutely wild. Like, base skips for it, too. Like, has absolutely no other money. Just busting out rockets. And you know what? It's not necessarily the worst move, too. One of the reasons why it's not really the worst move is because Endeavor's got no infantry. I mean, he's got infantry, but they're not in position to do anything. All zsbs really needs to do is he's just got to hold those properties for 10 turns. And Kindle, oh my god, Kindle is like the absolute queen of holding properties. Like, her stench alone wards off the opponent to the point where they can't do anything. If I was Endeavor, though, gotta push this corner. This corner is probably the best corner to push for a property right now. These corners are blocked off. Those guys are blocked off. This is probably your best bet, but you gotta get an infantry on the field. And then these infantry are way too slow to get down here. Oh yeah, you know what? Actually, all things considered, no, this is an even game. This is an even game because Endeavor's got both comm towers. So by having both comm towers, that does actually constitute 2 properties as well. So Endeavor's 15 properties technically counts as 17. So this is an even game. So technically, both of these players need to make something happen if they want to get that win. But this is a very unfortunate end for our classiest unit in Advance Wars. He is feeling some hurt over here, folks. He's feeling some hurt. He got blasted for a significant amount of damage. This medium tank is like the absolute king of hide and seek right here. He's hidden from the rocket firepower. Like, the rocket can't hit him. Like, there's absolutely nothing going on over here. Nothing to worry about. Another medium tank, though. Boom, gets the old clear. Medium tank staying out of the range of the rocket. That's what you gotta do. I love it. Absolutely love it. Destroy this infantry, though. Get them out of the field. Get an infantry down here. That's what we need to do. Double rocket over here from Endeavor, too. So both players understand the assignment right now. We need to hold properties. Just hold on to the properties. That's what we gotta do. This game could potentially result in a draw if nothing is done about these. The rockets, I mean, like, the rocket, like, something has to be done with the rockets, folks. It has to be done. If it's not done, like, I don't know what to tell you with this one. Like, it could potentially come out to a draw, but we'll see what Endeavor does over here on day 22 as he sends his units into various locations around the map, getting a double block on this property and this property. Technically, comm tower is somewhat open right now. But it's not like super open. It would be very difficult to go up and get that, but zsbs not really pushing up over here, so there's no reason really to push up over here. This is where the army is. Could potentially surround it with both armies, and then get something done, folks. But another thing that could potentially happen is Endeavor could push up here, so he could go up here, start damaging units, and then sneak an infantry up here and grab one of these properties. Like, that is definitely a possibility. Okay, no, that's not a possibility anymore because these guys just shifted over here. And a flippin' soiled abomination has appeared on the map, folks. There he is, stenching up the place over here on day 23. 23, as we know, is the name of a movie starring Jim Carrey. Some people like the movie, some people don't. But apparently everything equals 23, and 23 is a bad omen. And I think we have just confirmed how bad of an omen it is as the stench of the soiled abomination spews its way around the battlefield as a miasma of death and destruction. Terrifying stuff, folks. Terrifying stuff. Hold your families close, because this game is about to get smelly. Alright, we're going to try to do a flip over here, though. Not gonna work, but you know what? I like the heart. I like the heart. The heart is good. Could do a, oh my god, he could do a full surround on this right now. Oh my god, he could do a full surround. He's gonna get that comm tower. Oh, he's not gonna go for the full surround. He could go for a full surround and get, oh my god, if he did go for a full surround, I don't know. It might not have worked, but it might have worked, you know. Little column A, little column B, maybe, folks. But it is now day 24. Endeavor is forced to sacrifice a unit in order to get this KO. Might have to bring... Oh, if he brings the rocket in any further, though, it's going to get blasted by tanks. And look at his poor income, folks. 600 income. 6,000 income, I mean. Like, he got his money just siphoned away. Like, he got some inheritance, folks, but then the government just came and taxed it all. Potentially, he was supposed to have 16,500 income from that inheritance, folks. But Endeavor, after the tax season hits, 6,000 income. That's it. That's very sad, very unfortunate indeed. Hate it when that kind of stuff happens, folks. All right, that's it. Just a small shimmy turn. Forced to bring in the big guns, folks. Bringing in the classiest unit in Advance Wars, the medium tank. Now, this roll is probably going to take this guy down to 2, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I'm mistaken. Just full 90% damage. Oh, because of the 2 comm towers, I believe. Is that correct? Maybe I might be a little bit different here, folks. Maybe I'm just a little sleep deprived, but I feel like this damage... 92 to 98. Okay, am I thinking of like a 10 health one? 88 to 94. But I was thinking about 1 comm tower, right? 80 to 87, right? Okay, so 80 to 87, 9 HP. Still potentially a clear. Okay, so... I just don't know what I'm talking about, folks. All right, boom! There he goes. He is out of the game. Out of the game, and the captaining. The captaining is not happening anymore, folks. Oh... my god, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see something. I see something. Okay, the loss of the tank might actually prevent that. I don't know. I think something might still happen here, folks. Something might still happen. It's day 26. It's day 26. What is gonna happen? Popping the medium. Oh my god, and the rocket is... oh my god, it didn't get the KO! Oh, but it's still the tank rushes in there. Oh my god, okay, it gets a KO. It gets a KO. So this can move in and attack the rocket. The rocket is the blocker for this. You know what? I think maybe what zsbs is trying to do here is I think he's trying to get a power. You know, I'm just gonna press some buttons here. I'm gonna click some buttons and we're gonna see what we're dealing with over here. So we're doing 68 to 75% damage. If we get a power, 78 to 82. Okay, so it's not really guaranteed, but no, it's not really guaranteed. Okay, so I don't know what he's trying to do, but this is like some significant damage, folks. Boom. Definitely significant damage. Going in for the capture. Medium tank is the only thing that can stop this capture right now. Yeah, medium tank. Medium tank's the only thing that can do it. He has to rush up and he has to attack. I mean, technically the rocket can do it too, but this is like a pretty massive push right here. So yeah, it's pretty rough. Pretty rough indeed, folks. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. All right. And also, in addition to all this stuff that has been going on, folks, the SBS has snuck an infantry up north and is starting to capture one of the properties. Very scary stuff. 185,000 value to 96,500, folks. Endeavor blasts the medium tank, gets an attack right here, but that is not really a super large attack. It's not enough damage. Takes it down to 5, but once the medium tank is cleared and the rocket is cleared, there's nothing that can prevent this capture, folks. And I think that is a completely justified resign at that point, folks. Unfortunately, that's it. There's going to be a KO here. The next rocket is going to get bullied. This rocket gets bullied. The medium tank gets destroyed. Once you lose that line of defense over here, even the infantry get blasted away. This gets captured, and then there's only a few days left in the game. But you know what? All things considered, the Endeavor played a fantastic game. Played strong, played hard. Maybe needed to go a little bit more aggressive here and there, but you know what? Live League, people just do whatever they want to do. And that's just it. And you know what? There's no judgment. It just is what it is. Live League, it's a heck of a drug, folks. Congratulations to zsbs on the win. What a fantastic game between these guys. I don't think I've seen this many rockets be built in a lively game ever. So congratulations on that one, folks. Hopefully you all enjoyed that one. And if you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. I will see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.